Hi everybody, and welcome to this new video tutorial and example on how to analyze the market, trying to get the currency strength or weakness in order to decide what currency pairs to trade. And this very moment, since I'm having anyway a trade in action, before starting to analyze this trade with this kind of peculiar for as regard the setup of the markets that had already a little bit changed in the setup, and we will see in a moment. And before starting to analyze this, I would like to take a look to the previous week, which was the end of November and the beginning of December. So this very morning, around 1 o'clock, when I closed the trades of the previous week. So what I'm showing you here is the trade of the previous week, while I'm still working on a graphical module. If you see my previous videos, you will see something about this. So in these three statements, you will see the development of the analysis that I made the previous week, and swing trading that I took since 1 o'clock in the morning of this very week. Now we are the first week of December, and there was a new reading of the markets with a new analysis. But just to recap the previous week, I started almost at the end of November, as you can see by this information reported in the statement. And I traded GBP CAD in buy quite successfully, and implementing also with some Aussie against GBP because of the reading of the setup, even if it was minor compared to the CAD and the GBP, and to finish by trading again, leaving the trades open in the weekend and closing them with this final balance, so doubling the original balance of the account. And I also had some negative trades. There was a kind of uncertainty at a certain point, but by the reading of the markets, it was quite stable. The values, they were quite stable, the values of certain currency pairs. As you can see, they changed it completely. So I was trading buying CAD, Euro and GBP, and selling Yen. And at the very first hour of the Monday, now it's Monday evening, so this Monday morning before going to bed, I was observing the markets, and they finally realized that final spike that allowed me to close the trade successfully, and realizing and doubling the balance with this result. And after this, I started a new trade some hour ago with a new account, always starting with the same balance. So it's always the same procedure. To at a certain point we have to close the trades and get the profit, and we have to accumulate, not only leaving the money to our brokers or in the market. So I started by analyzing the currency pairs, and there was these values that now have a bit change, okay, of GBP always in buy and Japanese yen, which is a kind of confirmation of the previous week. But then if we analyze what is going on at this moment in the currency pair GBP Japanese yen, and especially in a daily situation, we may notice that GBP, that was quite strong, now is getting somehow weak, and also Japanese yen is getting strong. Situation that was not this way since the morning. In the morning and in the afternoon, GBP was the strongest currency pair, even if it's now still the strongest, but it was about 350 value, and Japanese yen was negative. Therefore, I focused myself on trading GBP Japanese yen. And at what point I trade? Well, when I analyzed the markets, I was around this area, so I had to wait because there was already a big move down. Okay, this is quite clear. There is already a big move, and as we may see, it occurred to change the direction, the overlapping between the London session and the American session. The more, if we observe on a larger time frame, we may notice that there was a gap at the beginning of the day. Basically, I closed the trades of the previous week around this area at the beginning of the Asian session, and so I decided to position my trades around this area, and trying to get another flux up of the currency pairs. But as we may notice now, we have a GBP completely negative, probably the most negative of the currency pairs, and Japanese yen somehow strong. Okay, so in this case there is a kind of transposition of the negative values. If we observe, for example, in a daily time frame, even if we have Japanese yen, GBP Japanese yen, we may notice that the shift went from Japanese yen negative to Japanese yen positive, and New Zealand dollar started to getting weak. So actually now we should observe GBP, New Zealand dollar. Okay, there's also Swiss franc, but Swiss franc is very narrow in the oscillation, so I very rarely take in consideration Swiss franc. Anyway, if we observe on an arrowhead time frame, this is the actual situation of the currencies, and I'm already in profit even with this trades that I took exactly at the fall of the price that went exactly to cover the gap of this morning. So the price went up, floating in this area, leaving this area completely alone, and then went up once, then retraced, went up twice, and then had a big move down till this area where a lot of buyers were ready to buy, and then there was this movement up again. So that was the only little movement that I could have got. But as the values in the daily are not confirmed anymore, even if GBP is getting values around 300, it was 350, 375, something like that, and Japanese yen was negative. Now Japanese yen is positive, and somehow is getting a strength that is starting to worry me. So instead of keeping the trades too much longer, unless there are some events that can show me that Japanese yen is getting weak again, I could also say, well, I took enough profit, because if we take a snapshot of the statement of this very first trade, and now we close also the other trades, at least 2 of them, so that we can see the performance of this very first week of December. Okay, this was some 1 hour ago, and exactly now I just made this profit. Now I took only one position open, the most profitable position, waiting for something to happen that probably won't. I don't know, because markets with this kind of moves are very unrealistic and difficult to read, especially if we stick only to one single chart. And I prefer to keep in mind that there was this GBP Japanese yen since the previous week. Let me use, okay, see how it developed, and now we are having this very wide movements, and probably there will be still a moving up, but we have to accumulate profit and then reposition ourselves, if it's possible, on a better position. And we have to take in considerations that there are other currency pairs that are available to be traded and to be substituting our actual currency that we are trading. So, as this is just for example and to propose to explain and the values and the visualization of what we are looking here, the only thing that I can say is that by also closing this trade and making a final account history for today, okay, with only 8 trades, we just got this profit. Now the markets are in a great uncertainty, and there are probably other currencies that we may observe. Let me check in the daily. We are having, for example, GBP New Zealand dollar. I would like maybe to open that. I hope it works. Chart window. Okay. This is in the 1 hour. Let's put it. See also this big oscillation, and they are all ranging, exchanging, and they are trading continuously Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar. So the movements are not very clear and distinct. Let's also apply the algorithm. It will take a moment to make computations. Now it sold 0, of course, at the beginning, and then it's making okay. And see here at 1 and at 30 minutes we have GBP negative and Japanese yen strong at 30 minutes. If we go on a higher time frame, we have GBP strong a Japanese yen strong and stronger than before. So this is uncertainty, and we should stay away from the trades. The important thing is that we have just realized anyway some profit, and maybe we can wait for the next move at the beginning of the next day. Now we are in the American session, and some big movements has already been performed. Okay, so why to rush in a trade when, if we would have been before, okay, but if something already happened, it's not that important or that necessary to get into a trade if it's not the proper moment, or if we don't have reached the proper level of to position ourselves, taking a long position or a short position. The more I am working on this graphical module that still requires some adjustments in the formulas in order to be, we're quite close to the point, but I really would like to give some of my energies to make it even better and more as much precise as possible. And for this reason I cannot be always on trading or always on mentoring. So at this point the important thing is that I have realized enough profit in some hours, because as you may notice this occurred just 1 hour ago. Okay, two hours ago. You can see this hour here, and it's quite enough, and also to get a good positioning. But we are now having this area that probably there are still some positions that are waiting to be hit, some price levels, and I don't want to risk and go further. I will let the market work and maybe reveal me a confirmation on a higher time frame, because today is the Monday, so it's the Monday and it's also the beginning of the week. So if we compare the daily and the weekly, values are the same. With the beginning of Tuesday, we will have some values in the weekly and other values in the daily that may confirm the trend of the week or suggest that other currencies are taking position on that. That's why they always say be careful on trading on Monday and on Friday. As usual, I invite you to watch my previous videos for more information about the reading of the market through this module, and for any request or suggestion or further information you may want to have, there's always the email or Skype to contact me. So thanks for watching and for supporting and for all your questions and all your attention and focus, and also the suggestions for maybe improving some features in my algorithm. And as usual, have a good time and space. Bye.